Like many meteorologists, we have the weather gene, and you kind of learn at a young age that it's a calling. And it's very common for us to pursue meteorology in that manner. When I was young, a young boy in Ohio in the late 70s, there were several pretty bad winters, and I started to follow the weather a little bit more on TV and in the newspapers, which is fairly rudimentary at the time. But that really kind of led to my calling and realizing, hey, I'm very interested in this, I want to learn more. You know, and when I say learn, get educated and get that technical background and pursue it. It's always changing, and it's never the same. And the one thing that I've really enjoyed is every once in a while the weather takes over everybody's lives, no matter what, and whether you want to or not. And that's pretty powerful. Most of the time, not so much, but every once in a while weather becomes king and dominant, and the weather person becomes the main player in the circumstances. So that's very exciting. Well, I'm a meteorologist in the Atmospheric Technologies group, and my primary job is programmatic oversight of our meteorological monitoring tower network. We've got 10 facilities on site and 3 off-site, and all of that data feeds into a real-time analysis of the winds and weather conditions on site. That also feeds into our emergency response modeling. And these are regulatory-driven activities, typical of any nuclear facility. And given Savannah Riverside's rather large size and potential source terms, we have a very elaborate program here. And I mentioned there's facilities actually off-site. We have a mutual aid agreement with the local emergency management agencies to provide the same type of support, although they don't have necessarily the radiological source terms. They have chemical source terms. Could be a train accident or that sort of thing, and we respond to that as well. Several years ago, Bill Hines of the Nondestructive examination group in SRNL and I worked together on developing a patent to examine buried anchor rods that hold up our meteorological towers. Before, the industry standard was to dig these things up and look at them visually, which is expensive, it's inherently damaging, and it also is a bad idea because it's reducing the staying integrity of those rods to hold the structure up. So we came up with a technique to examine these rods with ultrasonic technology, which is non-invasive, and this has actually been patented and licensed. And so the cellular industry uses that extensively now. And if that means that we're ensuring that people that climb these towers don't climb a tower that has a anchor rod that's near failure, and it saves a life, that's very exciting. So that's a good example of something we developed here at the lab, but it's gone out and really helping the U.S. economy. I think a couple different things have really been good for me. Number one, the people that I've worked with have been very supportive and very talented and a lot of fun to work with. So the people probably has been the biggest draw for me to keep me here. The other thing, though, is the latitude to pursue many different areas of interest. I've worked on everything from, like I mentioned, the meteorological monitoring and instrumentation to trace gas analysis, working with government labs and university researchers on those sorts of projects. Right now I'm looking at working with some of those utilities in the Southeast as solar energy becomes more prevalent on their grids and how to handle that from a meteorological forecasting perspective. And then the other thing is my volunteer work with the American Meteorological Society, which has really taken off, and I've had a lot of accomplishments. The biggest thing, the latest and greatest, is that I was elected the 2016 AMS President-elect, which is an incredible honor. Not only am I the first one from the SRNL, I'm the first from the state of South Carolina, I'm the first from the DOE complex, I'm the first from NC State, where I graduated. A lot of people are excited about this, and so it's great to carry that banner. We've got 13,000 members. We kind of have what we call the weather, water, and climate enterprise. We interact a lot between the government, academic, and commercial sectors. And that's, one thing about our industry that's very exciting. We have a huge impact on the economy. Anywhere from severe storms, snowstorms, hurricanes, even forecasts of good weather help. Trucking and transportation industries, and almost everything is affected by the weather. And so to be able to lead that industry is really exciting for me personally, but I really appreciate all the support I've gotten from here at the lab and the Department of Energy for this high honor. I'm fortunate I get to work with a lot of young people here at SRNL and also through my AMS work. And one thing I tell early career folks is to develop your reputation in a technical sense. You get one reputation, so be attentive to it. Your career accomplishments will be noticed. It could be papers, project reports, leadership, and teams, that sort of thing. And be patient. You can't run the lab walking out of school. Your technical education is important, but the ability to learn is what we really look at here at the lab, and build on that. It's a constant learning process, but we need good young people. We need people that are motivated. We have a lot of problems to deal with, and technical solutions are what we're all about at the lab. So be patient, develop that resume. If it's good for your resume, it's good for us as a lab. It's a win-win situation. There's a lot to look forward to, but you have to be patient. When I think about the future of SRNL, you can't help but look backwards, and we have a very proud history. We've done a lot of great work, but when I think about the future, the world is changing. For example, there's so much more data. Technology is changing, so whatever we do in the future is not going to look like what we did in the past. And I think the sorts of technological challenges we'll face are going to be more demanding, more difficult. And I think the political scrutiny is going to be even more challenging. So I think we need to think big as a lab, think transformative, and be attentive to the world as it changes, that we need to change with it. And I think to be successful, that's going to have to be a core value.